These are the people that Muhammad handpicked to teach the Quran to others. One of them would say that the Quran should have 116 chapters. The other would say that the Quran should have 111 chapters. These disputes were resolved in space and time. And that is why some people begin to argue, as Muslim scholars are still arguing today, that the Quran is created.
Once again, beloved, I greet you and I welcome you to Lost Media. My name is u.s.a, and you know for sure that whenever I get in my city to Bari, dismantling those several assertions that has been made against Christianity since time immemorial. Well, right now I'm going to react on a program that went on by Nabeel Qureshi. May his soul rest in peace, and surely he delivered several many steps to his addressees, and this time round it's about the Quran. You see, Muslims boast about the idea that the Quran is only one, but we know for sure the Quran isn't only one. There are several different Qurans or Arabic versions of the Quran around the world today. Okay, and they are with their critical differences, graphical differences, and extra word differences, and all that. Okay, meaning the Quran isn't on one trend. That's is very this is something that is very serious, because Muslims wouldn't be able to be going by the same way people are going wheresoever around the world. That we get with me, and that's they do stuff differently. And if you come across this Muslim doing this thing, you come across this Muslim doing otherwise, and that really means the Quran isn't one. Well, quick break, and we are returning to Nabeel Qureshi. You're welcome back, beloved. May God richly bless you. Well, make sure to subscribe to the channel, drop your comments in the comment section, make sure to like the program and help in sharing to your loved ones. And if you would want to have some one-on-one communication with me, and perhaps you would want to study with me, make sure to contact me via this mail, watchesteven152@gmail.com. watchesteven152@gmail.com. Through this mail, you will get my personal contact, and surely we will have personal studies. Well, let's go to Nabeel Qureshi.
We see certain texts, certain apocryphal texts being used by the Quran. For example, when the Quran says that Jesus was able to speak at his birth, it's referring to a Gnostic text written hundreds of years after Jesus. When it says that Jesus was able to create clay birds and give them life, that's found in the infancy gospel of Thomas, a late Gnostic gospel. So the Quran uses late sources on Jesus' life. We know that the Quran is situated within a historical context. Of course, Muslims are now beginning to argue that the text of the Quran also developed over time. These are two Muslim scholars from Turkey who compared the supposed Uthmanic Quran in Turkey and some other Uthmanic Qurans to today's Quran. And their conclusion is those Qurans are very different in some of their details from today's Quran. And they say that that's not from Uthman's time. These are Muslim scholars. So Muslims are continuing to talk about the development of the text of the Quran. And it's not just now. It was originally as well. We saw that even in Muhammad's, the Salaf generation, among the companions, people like Abdullah ibn Mas'ud and Ubay ibn Ka'ab disagreed on the canon of the Quran. These are the people that Muhammad handpicked to teach the Quran to others. One of them would say that the Quran should have 116 chapters. The other would say that the Quran should have 111 chapters. These disputes were resolved in space and time. And that is why some people begin to argue, as Muslim scholars are still arguing today, that the Quran is created.
So, beloved, that was just by the way. Yes, you've ascertained that indeed the Quran isn't only one. Okay, there isn't only one Arabic version of the Quran. There are several different Qurans around the world. Obi, get with me. Yes, within the Quran, there are several lot of stuffs about the about Nabi Isa. Okay, about Jesus Christ. You will come across some of the Quranic versions within which you will see they've downplayed the the meaning of some Arabic words and all that, just to buttress the propagation of the Islamic orthodoxy. I'll be get to that. If you really know well the Arabic, sometimes you will get to know that Muslims are trying to play smart. I'll be get to Islamic gurus. Sometimes when they get to know that perhaps the Bible is dismantling their ideologies, they will tell you the Bible is corrupted. I'll be get to me, but whenever they want a supportive verse or something like that, meanwhile there isn't an iota of a verse in the Bible that supports any Quranic idea or supports the idea that Muhammad was this or was that or blah blah blah. We get to me. Well, the Quran isn't only one. There are several different Arabic versions of the Quran, and I think I've ever been giving you these books over here, or this bibliography and footnote, and it was a book written by a practicing Muslim. Okay, it's the Islamic Encyclopedia, and it's titled Cyril Glassé, The Concise Encyclopedia of Islamic History, page 324. Okay, page 324. If you read this footnote I've given you in this book, you will ascertain that the Qurans you hold in today aren't the one Muhammad claimed to have received from Allah, or it isn't even the one Uthman you claim Uthman gave you. It isn't even the one Abdullah ibn Masud, Ubay ibn Ka'b, and Zayd actually kept. I'll be get to it. Isn't the one. It isn't the one that was with Abu Bakr. It isn't the one that was with Ali. It isn't the one that was with any of the companions of Muhammad, or it isn't the one that Muhammad claimed to have received. Well, the Quran is lost, and there isn't any Quran today. You haven't the one that has been given you by some so-called readers. They were not inspired writers, and that they gave you their minds, and that's exactly what you follow today. There are several many phrases and passages and verses of the Quran that are lost, and you don't have them today. Even goats or sheep ate some, according to Aisha herself. Well, we ended it up here, and we continue with some other time. Shout out to you, Nabeel Qureshi, wherever you are. May God richly bless everybody that took time to listen to this program or watch this program. Well, help us in sharing to everybody. Bye-bye.